Say hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Algar is running a little late tonight, so if you enjoy our particular brand of chaos, be sure to check out our links down below. You can find Azrael's TikTok, my Twitch channel, Springer Forges Knives. The link's down there. It's also in the chat. You can find a link to our Discord where we chat with people all the time, and also our YouTube where we upload our replays whenever I get around to actually editing them.
There's a riveting macaroni and cheese discussion going on right now in our Discord.
Hot dogs,
There
chili, what do you
is.
add to your mac and cheese? Let us know in our Discord.
Homemade sauce. That is a family recipe that Donnie doesn't know. That apparently I need to teach him.
Yeah, like I said, I tried to just wing it, and I fucked it up so bad, and burned the sauce to the bottom of the pot so bad I just threw out 2 pots.
Oh no!
2 different occasions.
Oh no. Okay.
Did you stop stirring it?
I don't know what went wrong.
Well-
I mean, constantly stirring because it's milk
Yeah, no, I get it.
and lower heat.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Recap wise, I think it would only be fair if I did it, given what happened. So, last week, when we left off, Dragon went bye-bye. People were sad, but we don't have time to be sad because we are the heroes in this story. So we marched down into Khemri after a long rest. Privately, during that long rest, Tobias had a little discussion with Cain, the bloody-handed god of murder. We went into Khemri. We searched around the city. Didn't really find a lot of clues at first. Went into was it a pyramid? The smaller of the 2 pyramids?
Yeah.
And we found a treasure room after a lot of searching.
Most of it was the
Trying to
exploration of
find
the city,
Yeah,
and
There was a lot of
coming
rolls
across different encounters.
Yeah, a lot of rolls to figure stuff out about the city. We saw some visions of the past. Then we found the treasure room where we found 200,000 some odd gold worth of platinum and used the helm of teleportation to go back to Altdorf, where it was revealed that Alder, my replacement for my former character Ezekiel, works for a man named Ezekiel von Mildenstein.
Okay, so the recap kind of starts from the very beginning. Yes, Alder was with you. Before everything started going down, instead of Ezekiel joining your kind of mercenary company, it was Alder that joined. So you've known each other from the beginning of before the adventure started. So it kicked off with So as the Chaos invasion swept across the land, you were forced to seek shelter in Middenheim, the fortress city of the White Wolf. There, as the invasion broke against the walls, you were assigned to defend the Temple of Sigmar, a towering bastion of Imperial faith. But despite your efforts, a powerful figure, masked in shadow and clad in unnatural strength, escaped with a relic of immense power, which you later learned was the Slayer of Kings. In the aftermath, you joined in the investigation to find out how the walls were breached, and part of this came from Alder's skills as an investigator. Uncovered the signs of a cult of Slaanesh operating beneath the city, with roots in noble households. You cleansed the rot quietly and precisely, and in the sanctum you found a parchment written in Abyssal, an artifact of prophecy and madness. Alder, familiar with cursed things and the danger of careless hands, ensured it was sealed away and deciphered under careful supervision. Supervision. Wow, I can't read today. I can't talk today. Okay. It spoke of hidden portals that were each linked to one of the 4 chaos gods and were major sources of corruption and power. and you were able to kind of like tie that back into the being that stole the sword. You kind of put two and two together, and you learned that it was Archaon. He was trying to become the Everchosen, and some of it was you learned that if you were able to close these portals, parts of the influence of those chaos gods would be diminished in his abilities. So with that knowledge, you travel to Altdorf, seeking scholars who could help. Again, there, Alder's past resurface and his ties to the von Mildenstein Mercantile Company, where he once served as an internal investigator. Though no longer employed by them, his reputation remained, and you were given swift and easy access to the scholars at the university, who were able to translate what they could of the parchment before they pointed you towards Ulthuan. From there, you travel to the west, stopping first in Marienburg, where Tobias confronted his heritage and his father. Learned things about being sword lengths away that became a running joke for quite some time. From there, you took a ship across the sea to Ulthuan. Halfway through that journey, the ship was raided by Dark Elf corsairs, and part of the crew that attacked the ship was an assassin who, upon appearing on the deck, was immediately yeeted into the sea by Calgar with his fucking vortex warp. In Ulthuan, the lore masters confirmed your fears. The parchment pointed you towards the portals, and they completed the translation to get all the information you could. The first target that was given to you was the portal for Slaanesh in Naggaroth, home of the Dark Elves, and there the party made contact with House Furian, just Tobias' family. They tasked you with a mission of kind of quid pro quo. You want their help, they're going to get your help first, to send you on a sabotage mission for a rival household by targeting their prized iron scale Hydra. With the clandestine nature of the mission, Alder again kind of took point on this. Managed to forge documents, sprinkle lies with surgical care. There was no blood, no witnesses. You were able to talk your way into the beast pens, and by poisoning the Hydra's food, you were able to weaken the beast to the point that when it fought in the arena days later, as part of its like reveal to society, it collapsed, and House Ashkar was humiliated, thus earning the favor of House Furian. At that point, you were directed to Harganeth to seek the assistance of the Temple of Cain, and you swiftly were put in touch with Helbron, who is the High Priestess of Cain. They had an idea of where to go, and you were further sent on to the city of Grand, with the accompaniment of a very familiar... I lost my place somewhere. Accompanied by a very familiar assassin, who you now know as Heartrender, but was the assassin that was initially cast into the sea. In Grand, you located the temple, managed to destroy the portal by defeating a greater demon of Slaanesh. Treasure was left behind. Again, Alder's knowledge of cursed things. You urge the party to leave it and not touch it. But the determination came down that you will take the gold and the coin, but leave behind the obviously cursed magic items. Upon return to House Furian, you sought a swift way to get back to the coast for your arranged pickup, and you were teleported. But there was a mishap with the teleportation, and you were flung hundreds of miles to the north, lost deep in the Black Forest. I keep losing my place. As you journey towards the coast, Alder spotted a black dragon flying on the horizon, and was able to skillfully steer the group away from that obviously deadly encounter. You regrouped in Ulthuan, met Othira, a knight of Despater. She joined the cause, and together you traveled to Araby, where rumors of another portal had directed you. In the city of Kofir, you sought discretion, but Archibald Fairchild, a merchant prince and longtime rival of the von Mildenstein family, was already watching. He arranged for your arrest after orchestrating a public incident and used the legal system to gain custody of the party, portraying himself as a generous benefactor offering to rehabilitate dangerous adventurers with questionable histories. Once aboard his personal ship bound for El Haik, Archibald played host, treating the party to luxury and kindness that felt just a little too calculated. And behind the politeness, he pressed for secrets. He would ask leading questions, subtly test loyalties. He offered contracts, favors, all in exchange for vague promises. Every kindness came with a hook. He knew you had drawn something powerful from the deck of many more things. He wanted to know what it gave you. And to Alder, he whispered something more, an insinuation that he had known Stefan von Mildenstein perhaps too well, that he had been long operating in the shadows of the company, buying up contracts, undercutting routes, and gathering blackmail nobles across the empire. He called himself a spider in the web, but with better taste. Alder grew uneasy. By chance, you encountered Heartrender in the city with a group of assassins, and you contracted him to assassinate Archibald, but Archibald paid better. Heartrender turned on you in a public garden, nearly killed Caligar in the attack, and the fight drew the city guard. You fled into the shadows, scattered and wounded. And that pretty much catches us up to the point where Ezekiel decided that he didn't want to be all depressed and gloomy anymore.
So
He
pretty
rolled
much,
the dice and won.
pretty much everywhere where Ezekiel screwed up, Alder skillfully sidestepped the issue.
Yes.
What was it that happened that got us linked up with Archibald again?
Like he didn't. Essentially, he recognized Alder as having served for the von Mildensteins and arranged a public incident. Perhaps someone had their head blown up by a psychic power. And then just worked the legal systems to have that same result that you guys went through, where you were captured, sold into slavery, and he took you on as like, I will have them in my service to like avoid the death penalty for you guys, because he was trying to like get those favors and coerce you into like serving him as opposed to serving, the von Mildensteins. Shock's here.
Hey,
Yep, I know. I'm late, but I made it. I'm getting everything
okay.
booted up.
Yeah, he was just giving us the full Ezekiel into Alder recap, and the summary of it
timeline
is.
shift.
Yeah, the summary of it is, Alder is competent, Ezekiel is chaos. So
Yeah.
any Ezekiel chaos moment turns into Alder skillfully got us out of it. Most of the time.
Now here's the
Ezekiel's
question.
a failure, not chaos.
So here's the
well,
question.
I wouldn't say
Booty,
failure.
Can
I'd
you
say
play?
chaos.
Booty, can you play Alder that way, or are you going to fuck up that timeline?
No, I'm not always fucky wucky.
A lot of it
I
does
don't know
come down to
about that.
dice. A lot of those instances where like his dice also screwed him hard.
Oh my god, Goblin Tuesdays seeing that in the game that we're playing. My curse with dice rolls. Yeah, that's why I play a skill monkey now. Because when I roll a 3, it's a minimum of an 18.
Skill monkeys are awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they are. to a point where I just gave up on like making you roll for things. Like, yep, you see it.
I don't abuse it. I don't abuse it.
Okay, so we've already done the recap. So yes, you guys robbed and pillaged the tomb, got your ill-gotten gains, and immediately teleported to Altdorf, safely into the basement of Ezekiel von Mildenstein's house. And I'm going to just change this.
At some point, I want to have a conversation privately with Ezekiel. Just as a heads up. All-purpose
I know.
tool! Ah! APT, all-purpose tool.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you already have one of those?
Yeah, but it has different rarities, and the higher rarities just make the effects better. So if I'm looking for upgrades, I may as well, because I really don't know what else to really look for. I'm pretty happy with Kalakar's current gear setup.
I gotta remember Alder's voice again. I didn't
Just
do it
remember
last
you
week
suck.
because I
too
was sick.
difficult. It's just the chain smoking every day 3 packs of smokes. That's all it is.
Okay. I just had to roll some dice.
Nifty nifty, always let the dice tell the story.
Well, the shopping list you all gave me. I've got prices for everything.
Nice.
We're not there yet.
You're not there yet. Okay. So I don't really have a screen for this, so this will just work for now. Okay, so after finish things off, like the introductions going around, finally shakes Athera's hand. Her memories come flooding back of everything she experienced with Ezekiel, up to the point that she drew the card of fates from the deck of many more things, and wished for Ezekiel's tragic past to no longer be tragic. It kind of like takes a step back, looks around, looks at Alder, and says, "Oh, my friend, it has been a very long time, but what brings you here so suddenly?"
We have business to attend to. Came into a not inconsequential amount of artifacts recently.
When you say not inconsequential, what are you talking about?
Khemerian artifacts. A lot of it platinum.
And his eyes just like widen. He goes, "Uh-huh. Well, quick, come, follow me. We'll go down the hall. I think I have one of the staff hasn't left for the day yet. He kind of does all of the appraising for me. We'll bring it down to him, and we'll let him know what it is you have, and we'll see what we can do." As he just turns, walks to the door, he's used to the expectation that people are just going to follow him, and walks at a fairly brisk pace down about 30, 40 feet down a hallway. Just hangs left through a door, and yeah, he's essentially just in there waiting for you guys.
Following right behind.
Yep, Tobias will follow, but he's keeping an eye out. Even though the place looks nice, he doesn't trust this.
I follow with a little half smirk.
Okay. So you guys come into the room, and Ezekiel's off to the left side. On the right is kind of a wiry-looking individual, like scraggly hair, thin glasses, a perpetual hunch in his back as he spends a lot of his time like bent over a table, kind of like looking into details of things. Ezekiel kind of gestures and says, "This is Kurt Helmut. He is a wizard for finding out the authentication and the general value of what everything is." He kind of like looks past you guys and goes, "You say that you've got a substantial amount of things, but I don't see any bags large enough to hold it."
Algar.
We all
All of that
turn
got
to face
shoved into one of
Calgar.
my bags, right? Okay, sorry. I just wanted to double check. So I'll just take out the relevant bag, whichever one it happened to be, and start shoveling stuff out.
Okay, and like, because you put it all in the bag of holding, it's like you're coming in like one hand at a time, grabbing one item. So this is taking probably about 5 minutes of just like shoveling things out of the bag, and it just all goes onto this like massive table in the center of the room. And as more and more and more and more of it piles up, you can watch Ezekiel's eyebrows go higher and higher and higher and higher, and Kurt is pretty much just drooling over everything. He finally stops and say the table itself comes to about waist height for most people. Calgard's essentially up to like mid chest for you. And Kurt looks over there and goes, "You want me to appraise all of this?" Ezekiel just smiles and nods and says, "Before you leave, please." He claps on the back. He's like, "I know you get it done. Now, my friends, if you will, I was just about to sit down for dinner. Would you care to join me?"
I also
I
Who
chuckle
are
at his
you?
response.
Who am I?
Yeah.
Did you not hear the introductions in the teleportation room?
Said you were Ezekiel, but
Ezekiel, I'm pretty sure he said Ezekiel von Mildenstein of some textiles or something.
von Mildenstein Mercantile.
That's it.
I also will pull out my 42,500 gold pieces worth of rare ore and gems. It's my own personal stash I need to sell as well.
Now, how do you want this? I assume you want like that total separate from all of the
Yes.
shiny bits. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we'll leave it with Kurt, and he will do his thing. But yes, no, I'm eager to find out where you've been this past year, and I'm also intrigued to find out how you made your way. You said you went to Khemri?
That is where we just came from.
Very interesting. Yeah, when the alarm went off saying someone had teleported in, they had just rung the bell for dinner, so I'm sure we can scrounge up some food for you if you would care to join me.
That would be glorious. I'm starving.
Calgar's just gonna
Okay.
like start drooling, just fresh meat. Finally.
I would love dinner.
is still on its guard.
He kind of like, when Calgar says fresh meat, Ezekiel gets a bit of a grin. He says, "Well, you might appreciate this, but over the past several months, I had a trip where I actually went to one of the dwarf holds. I'm terrible at pronunciations. I never caught the name of it, um, but I grew to appreciate dwarven cuisine, and I hired actually a dwarven chef. Um, so I hope you don't. I hope the don't get homesick from the meal, but I think you'll appreciate it."
That sounds fantastic. And he's gonna start bolting through a door, trying to figure out which room is the dinner room. It's like, all right, I'm on my way.
As you like run out, Ezekiel laughs and just yells after you down the hallway. When you get to the end, turn right and then just follow your nose. And
Pitter
gestures
patter,
for you
pitter
guys
patter.
to
Just heavy feet running down the hall.
So then, he leads you guys through the house. Takes you a couple minutes because it's a fairly large domicile that you're in. But eventually, he does bring you into a dining hall.
It's a mansion. Mr. von Mildenstein, you seem to have done well for yourself over here.
I would like to take all the credit. A lot of this was the success of my parents before me. They built an empire. I just run it now. My father retired about 5 years ago, and growing up, he taught me everything you need to know about the business.
That must be nice.
Considering I've seen and heard how things have gone for other people that have been less fortunate, I do truly count myself blessed to live the life I do now.
That's fantastic.
Tobias is gonna, while we're walking, kind of grab Alder and bring him to the side. Just say, does Ezekiel von Mildenstein know what we're doing? Have you told him?
He knows that I left to investigate whisperings of chaos. The full story? Haven't had a chance to tell him.
Okay. And
He's-
we'll be fine telling him, right?
He's trustworthy.
Okay. Continue
Okay.
following to the dining room.
So as you come out of a side door, you do walk through, and it comes out into the main foyer of the house that you're in. And this, I have a picture for.
Nice. I love pictures.
It makes describing so much easier.
Right. Oh, very nice.
And Ezekiel guides you through the middle doors. You go through another hall just as rich, and it gets to a point you kind of feel a little ostentatious. But as you go through, he brings you into a smaller dining hall off to the side. Alder, you know that this house has two sort of dining rooms. One is more professional, used for like big banquets and stuff like that. The one that he brought you in is more for like family level engagements.
Sorry that we interrupted your dinner.
Just waves a hand and goes, No, it is nothing to apologize for. Having such a cherished friend return home after such a long time is a true blessing, especially in the dangerous line of work that you get yourself into.
It's not dangerous if you're careful.
The
I don't
scorpions are
think that's
especially
how that
dangerous.
works.
Yeah, pointedly look over at Tobias in his throat.
And he looks back and forth between the two of you and notices you're looking at his throat and looks, and sees like there's a significant scar in like just straight like the center of your neck that's about the size of your fist. Kind of like raises an eyebrow and goes, I'm sure there's a story there, but I'll leave that to you if you want to tell it. I don't like to pry, but I kind of want to.
Depends what aid you can offer.
Depends what aid I can offer.
Yeah.
Depends on what kind of aid you're looking for.
Well, I don't know how much Alder's told you, but we're kind of saving the world.
Really? I haven't spoken with Alder since he left. That's been just shy of a year now, I think. Last I heard would have been, I want to say, the end of winter, maybe. He sent me a message saying that he linked up with this group, and you were going on kind of mercenary type missions in the northern parts of the Empire. But from there, I haven't heard anything. So, I'm intrigued now. How are you saving the world?
We kind of inadvertently got put in the path of the Everchosen and his goals to conquer the world. And we've been trying to fight him at every chance, trying to undo the power and the portals of the Chaos Gods. And that's what we were doing. We were in Khemri on the way to taking out a Tzeentch portal, probably. And seem to have come into a lot of money, and we're hoping to outfit ourselves better, just so that scorpions can't do us in anymore.
The second time you've mentioned scorpions, I think you need to tell me a story now.
We ran into
Scorpions are dicks.
doppelgangers. And that sucked. And then they had these scorpion things, and that was fun.
Like, I understand with scorpions, like, my understanding is the bigger they are, actually the less dangerous they are. So, like, how big are we talking of a scorpion? Is it this big? Or are you looking at the big black ones that are like this big?
I believe it was
no.
the size of a small baby dragon.
Closer to
They a little bigger.
not a baby dragon, a young dragon.
Bigger than a
A
horse.
young dragon is closer.
Bigger than a horse.
Yeah, bigger than a horse.
Bigger than a horse.
These aren't your regular scorpions. They're constructs. They're creations, not something you'd actually find in nature.
Oh, I think I've read about these. There was an invasion, the southern edge of the Empire. Oh, I want to say 400 years ago. Army of skeletons and mummies and these large walking like dog-headed statues, catapults that fired skulls and screamed, and I think I remember reading that there were these just crafted out of like stone and metal and magic brought them to life, and they were 10, 15, 20 feet in size. That's what you faced?
They really hated
Three
me.
of them. It was
Well,
a
it couldn't have been.
glorious, a terrible moment when one of them stabbed our friend in the throat.
It couldn't have been so bad. I mean, you're standing here. Clearly, you survived.
Yeah. Survived.
He was brought back by the cleric.
I'm sorry. What?
Like finito done.
He
Wait.
was
His soul left
after
his
being
body, and
stabbed,
then Card.
yes.
Sorry.
After his throat was punctured, ripped apart, he was done. He was no longer among the living.
Cardinal
Oh, so
brought it
you
back.
died.
Yep,
Now this
they really
is
wanted me.
this is always fascinated me. I have to ask because usually when someone comes back from being dead, it's because someone else cast a spell and is now using them as a tool. What's death like?
I wasn't there for long, but apparently it makes gods angry.
It makes gods angry.
Or at least one
I'm
of
sure
them.
part of that comes down to which god you worship, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I would actually be very disappointed if you died and it turns out that my death pissed off Sigmar. That's interesting. And now you say you found this incredible wealth in the city. Where
Yep.
did you find it?
In a pyramid.
In the smaller of the two pyramids. The small one is still very big, though. In the treasure room. Lots of people tried to get into them. It didn't work for them. But Alder's really good at picking locks.
I know I've seen Alder's skill at getting himself into places he's not supposed to be in. A pyramid in the city. He just thinks for a minute and turns to one of the servants behind him, just snaps his fingers and says, have Kurt bring up one of those pieces he's inspecting. I want to take a close look at it. And the guy runs off and
Guys, it's cursed treasure.
says, I don't know. I'm more just curious about the historical significance. Because Khemri has many pyramids. No one's gotten out alive with that treasure. So you might have one of the greatest archaeological finds in history.
So then
And
it's
I'm
priceless.
curious. Everything's got a price.
Yeah, but when I say priceless, I mean it's like well priced. Worth more than the weight of it.
Mm-hmm.
Significant historical blah blah.
And at that point, like, the conversation kind of falls into small talk. Like, he's just kind of getting caught up on everything you guys have gone through. And after about 20 minutes or so, the servant comes back and he leads Kurt in, and he walks over and hands this just silver plate to Ezekiel and sets it in front of him. And Ezekiel picks it up and like pulls a little jeweler's loop out of a pocket and like leans in close to like really inspect the fine detail. And he just keeps muttering to himself, "No, it can't be. It can't be. No." Wow. He sets it down, just leans back and goes, "Wow. Do you understand what you have?"
Be
No.
real
Rarely.
honest, we know it's expensive, but we don't know what it is.
We know it's a lot of platinum, but past that, we don't know.
Kurt pipes up and says, if we were to just melt it down and sell it for the platinum, you could probably get, well, I think about 30,000 platinum pieces out of it.
That's more than our first estimate.
Well, I
I
would
feel a
assume that
bit coming.
you just kind of like made that guess as you looked at it and you shoved it in the bag.
It was a very quick running estimate of how much can I shove into this, into our bag, before we ended up getting out of there.
If we don't
Okay.
want to melt it down into platinum pieces, how much is it worth to sell it as is?
See, therein lies the issue. How quickly do you want to return?
Relatively quickly. I mean, well, we're still on this quest and we're still pushing, trying to find portal. If you got any information there, we'd love to hear it, but we were hoping for a quick turnaround, quick refit, and head back.
Because he holds the plate up and points at the symbol that's carved in the middle and he goes, "This is carved into the personal wares of every Naggaroth king during their reign. This one I've only ever seen in one book, and it is from the first dynasty to rule the empire. And if I'm reading it right, that is from Cetra.
We made it such a...
And is that the person we're supposed to be trying to find?
Yeah,
not
sort of. We still have
technically.
these riddles we haven't figured out. I think we're just
I mean,
bumbling through the desert.
Mhm.
So, if you want a quick turnaround, I would gladly pay you the weight of this material. I will give you 30,000 platinum for everything. Because this is going to take, the quantity you're looking at is going to take considerable time to move. Because well, in all honesty, the people that can afford this are few and far between.
Yeah, I guess as much.
And this will, some of it's going to go to auction, some of it will go to private collectors, some of it I will bring before kings and nobility. If you want to take the time and do it properly, I would assume I can get you between 8 and 10 times its value, its weight. Now, that being said, that's going to take a long time. We will split the difference. You will get 50% as the finding fee for it.
So
But if you want,
30,000. So 30,000 platinum pieces up front, and then 50% of the sale after
No.
the 30,000.
That's not what he's saying. He's
If-
saying 30,000 now, and we hand it
Or-
all off. Or we take 50% of whatever he gets from the whole kit and caboodle later.
Or
Yeah.
30,000 now, and like 20% of the sale after the 30,000.
that's not how this works.
It's called negotiating.
I understand. And that's not how this works.
How long would it take you to sell all of that?
All of it, years. Some of it, I could probably get offloaded in a couple months. The offer of 30,000 platinum is I'm taking all the risk. You are getting paid hand over fist, which would be the same as if you had just taken all that stuff and melted it down. If you want to join me in the risk and maybe not get the return you're expecting, because I can't guarantee the value I'll get, we can go that route. But it's going to take much, much longer to get that full payout. that is going to be years of work. Or I just pay you 30,000 platinum right now, you shake my hand, and you walk away with a fortune that 99% of the Empire will never see in their lives.
I mean, personally, I don't have years, so I will take the 30. But I am only one voice, apparently.
Yeah. We'll talk amongst ourselves after dinner. But I think I know which way we're leaning.
Because that's 300,000 gold pieces worth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Split 5 ways. What is that per person?
Are we not doing a party fund?
60,000 gold each?
Thank you.
Well,
Now, as an
with the amount
aside-
of money we're talking about, there'd be no point in putting it in the party fund.
Okay, I just wanted to bring it up. So
Yeah, I don't want to, like, share my share.
Now, as an aside, we're looking to rearm, get new magic stuff, new weapons. Would you happen to know anyone here in the city or nearby, or special dealers? So we'd turn around and spend our money if we wish.
And the expression on his face looks like you've almost insulted him. He's like, really? You want to know if I have connections with magic shops? Really?
Hey, this looks like a very nice house, but I haven't seen too much magic or weapons or anything.
You've been to 3 rooms.
And they weren't very
Ugh.
magical.
You'll have
He
to.
has an
You'll have
permanent
to.
One of them was a fucking
teleportation
teleportation ring that is permanently etched into the stone.
You'll have
How
to.
much do you think that costs?
You'll have to forgive Tobias. I kept the former clandestine nature of our arrangement, and I do not know much about you or our dealings. Tobias,
Also, he's a fool.
Let me fill you in. This is Ezekiel von Mildenstein, owner, proprietor, noble heir of the von Mildenstein family. Runs one of the largest mercantile companies in the entire empire, including...
He raises a hand as you say one of it. Goes, it's actually the largest now. We bought out one of our competitors.
He
Ooh,
deals
which
in...
competitor?
Oh, who was it? Von Schlieffens? Maybe?
He
I don't know. They all work for me now, so.
He deals with everything you could imagine, even if it's harder to obtain in the area you're in, than certain limitations.
Now, you seem to be very well versed in archaeological studies down in Khemri in the Deadlands. Would you be able to help us with more research? Do you have more research? Does your friend Kurtel would he be able to divine a location of a chaos portal, or even how to close one?
Hurt? No, he's an appraiser.
Okay.
My knowledge in history is just a hobby. I read. I take care
Anything
of.
would be helpful.
Most of it is
Yeah.
just ancient history. That was, history is written by the victors, so it's the kings of those empires blowing smoke up their own ass about how great they are. It's sometimes you gotta work out what's true and what's not. But everything I've read so far, there's never been a mention of a portal.
maybe a recent development. Not to
Well, if it's a
apparently
recent
insult you
development,
again.
there's no writing about it. The last
Well,
thing
yeah.
that was written about Khemri was like, aside from the various undead attacks that have ranged out from there, the last thing of history from that empire, 1,000, 1,500 years ago.
Now, again, not to apparently insult you, but do you know any archaeologist wizards or people who are very familiar or studied with the land we could talk to in the next day or so before we leave?
The last archaeological expedition to Nakara was about 200 years ago, and it never came back.
Yeah, well, we understand. What I'm saying is, we're really shooting in the dark. We're getting some information from the elves, not a lot. Any help, any information is more than what we have now. Do you have any friends that could possibly help?
The closest I can give you for help is I can get you in touch with the vendor I know that sells magic. Honestly,
Okay.
the information we have available, you've been to the Tower of Hoth and Ulthuan, they're gonna have significantly more information there.
Okay. Wait, did we tell him we went to the Tower of Hoth in Ulthuan?
It yeah, like that break when the
Okay.
servant went to go like get Kurt and bring him back up. You kind of like small talk. You went through pretty much all of the tales and stories of what happened. Maybe more of a cut down version, not going into like excessive and like gruesome detail. But you pretty much filled him in on the general idea. I wasn't gonna have you guys sit here and retell the story I literally just retold to you guys.
Sure. Okay, just making sure he didn't out himself. All right, well, we'll talk amongst ourselves, but I think we're leaning especially hard one way for this treasure. Is there, again, apparently I'm being insulting. Can we camp in one of your guest rooms for the night? We did arrive here at night, correct?
Yeah, it's
Dinner time.
Dinner time, yes.
it's a late dinner. It's about 7 o'clock.
I know.
By the time like all the conversations have happened, you're probably pushing about like 8:30. And with how far north Altdorf is, it's dark outside. You're I think before the calendar mod broke, you guys were like late January, early February.
Okay.
And Ezekiel just kind of like chuckles and says, "You want to camp in one of the rooms? You can each have your own room for all I care."
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't want to sleep with them. I could use
Tobias
a
is
good
offended.
bed. Do you have any big beds?
I've got big beds. He looks at Cal and goes, "I've got little beds. I've got beds for every size of person you could ever think that would ever come in."
I have so many beds. Everybody's always talking about them. They're the greatest beds of all time. China wishes they had these beds.
Stop before Twitch
Ah.
gets mad.
I am very happy to take a large bed. I have not slept in a large bed in a while.
Kind of looks you up and down and goes, "There's one that when you get into it, you're going to feel like it is too big."
I don't know if I've ever had that experience. At least not on the mortal planes.
Well, sometimes you get some big people coming through, and they want to experience that luxury. So I've got you all covered.
Well,
And he kind of like stands up and like pushes his chair back and says, "Now, if you'll excuse me, I do have some work I need to finish off before the night ends. But the servants here will guide you up to the individual rooms. Um, they're well versed. They know where they're going to take you to."
We get to the rooms. I'm going to motion to everyone to come into my room real quick.
I look longingly at my door. Look at you.
This will be a minute. Just come on.
Come over to your door.
Come on over. We'll have our meeting.
Yeah, I follow.
All right. Once everyone's in, I'm just going to say 150,000 platinum would be awesome, but we need that. We need those new weapons now, right? Everyone's agreed.
Yep.
Calgar?
I suppose. I prefer the
Cardinal
long
just kind of
game,
pipes up
but
and
I
corrects.
understand the need for the short-term pay.
Cardinal pipes up and corrects. It's 240,000 to 300,000.
Well, we would get 120 to 150 over several years.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. I can do my own math.
Cardinal
also,
doesn't like math.
This is true. Yeah.
Also, we might be dead by the time that all of it gets sold, so 30,000 now. I will take my share because I want to not be beholden to anybody for it.
Yeah, and if we get better gear, less chance of us dying.
Yep. 6,000 platinum pieces each. Mint.
Yep. I think we should do that. Sleep for the night. Well, should we tell them before we go to sleep, or
I'll go tell him.
In the
It'll
morning.
be fine.
you'll go tell them?
I'll go find him and tell him.
All right, that's it. Well, I guess we take the money, meet with his magic guy in the morning, and she's already gone.
I just like get up and leave. Sorry.
Patience? I got no time for that.
Like, if one of you peeks around the door, like looking out the hall, she's already turning a corner. Like, you're seeing a black booted heel disappear around the corner, and she's gone.
Yeah.
Funny enough, she doesn't actually know where she's going.
No, I don't. The first servant I find, though, I'm like, I need to speak to Mr. von Mildenstein.
Tobias will
been
cast
von
alarm
Mildenstein,
in
right?
his room.
Okay.
Also, how do we reset the sorry counter? Because I've already said sorry twice. Apparently, it's going to be a day. Edit count sorry 2. Got it. Cool.
Okay, so you walk up to one of the servants. You ask to speak with Ezekiel, and like, oh yes, I believe he was in his study. Please follow me. And he leads you to the study and knocks softly on this fairly massive oak door, and you hear Ezekiel from inside say, "Please come in." And as you walk in, the servant says, "Master von Mildenstein, I present." And he kind of gets his pain up on your face, and he turns, and looks at you, and goes,
Othira
catch
the
your name.
Unbreakable.
Othira the
Unbreakable.
Unbreakable. And he just laughs and kind of waves on and says, "Yes, I was expecting her. You can send her in."
Awesome. I want this conversation to be private.
Dun dun
Okay.
dun.
I finally
let's
get a
go
whisper,
down.
guys. I want to whisper.
And Booty, we will steal you down to keep it on the stream.
Without earphones. Awesome. Awesome. Okay.
As you step in, Ezekiel looks up from the paperwork, kind of like still like head down, but just kind of like lifts an eye, looks at you and says, "Close the door."
Close the door. I assume there's like nice chairs.
Oh yeah, like he gets up, he pours himself a fairly tall glass of a liquor, and he looks over his shoulder and he says, "Would you care for some?"
I would love. Do you happen to have anything from the Hells? I would love something from the Hells.
He holds the bottle in his hand and shakes it and says, "Where do you think this came from?"
It's about time someone had some taste. And I come over and sit down. How did you fare on your step up in the world?
Let's just say I've been kept busy.
Mm.
Hmm.
Did you get the negotiation you wanted?
It's a very fair contract. I know how to keep myself in good graces. I think is a good way to put it.
Mm. Yeah, couple of things. One, we will take the 30,000 platinum pieces
Wonderful.
because we might be dead by the time you can sell it, and that's just bullshit. Two, how much does Alder know? Does he know that he inadvertently works for Dispater, or is he completely in the dark?
I haven't. He doesn't know.
Okay.
He doesn't know because I didn't know the whole story until a couple months ago. Is when I was first visited by a devil.
So you've only been employed for a couple of months. Interesting.
Yes
would
and
have thought-
no.
Yes and no. This
You
sounds
should-
like an interesting story.
You should know more than anyone.
Well,
Time flows very differently in different planes and different universes.
that is
So
very true.
here, there's only been a few months that have passed. But where I've been to serve, I've probably put in about. So it's hard to keep track. I want to say between 5 and 10 years of
Okay.
service.
Interesting. Anything that I should know? Any pertinent information? I'm assuming you didn't know that we would be coming here at this point because this was a shock. Also, I'm very glad it was you because this is just fucking poetic.
There is something you should know. Give me 1 sec. I gotta pull it up here.
I am definitely glad that it all worked out, though. Does mean I'm one step closer to becoming a general.
So when you ask, is there something you should know? Like I said, he smiles and says, "There is something you should know." And without breaking his eye contact with you, he just says in a bit of a louder voice, "Alder, would you step inside, please?"
Oh, for fuck's sake.
You're muted.
I will step inside.
Now, you didn't hear the conversation because you were being a good boy. You took the headphones off. Quick gist of it is she was asking if you knew anything, and he explained that he only found out about his service to Despater a couple months ago, but with how time works between planes and universes, he's actually put in about between 5 and 10 years in Despater service. And he looks at you as the door opens and just, like, you've seen the serious business expressions on him. You've seen him frustrated. You've never seen him angry. He says, close the door.
Close the door as I'm asked.
I'm going to stand up, fold my arms with my axe propped, and then just like fingers.
I'm actually surprised that I heard you. But I think part of it is you were expecting the Ezekiel that you knew years ago. And that's not who I am. I hope this isn't going to be a problem.
Not at all.
Because I would hate to lose someone as skilled as you.
It would be a fun fight, though.
Given the things I've done, I don't think this is too much of a leap for me to look past.
Good.
If I'd have known that you knew each other, I would not have listened, if that helps. I was more concerned for your safety, given
And
who you both work for.
Honestly, it's part of the reason you're not dead right now. Is I understand your devotion to this family, and Othira is a lot.
Not
The
a good
type
person.
that just radiates violence, and I've gotten a lot of practice at not radiating violence. But here's the kicker. And he kind of like leans closer, and he gets this like mischievous grin that you've seen on his face a lot. He says, I was never in any danger from her. Not because that we both served Despater, but because in those 5 to 10 years, the power I've accumulated would have broken her in half at the snap of a finger.
He is level 20 already. Fuck, that's hilarious.
Now, I don't think it needs to be said. This does not leave this room.
Of course.
If I learn that any of your companions find out about this, well, it won't just be me comes, it'll be the city of Dis.
I understand.
Good. Now, I do hope you enjoy your stay, and you are welcome to stay as long as you need, and I will provide as whatever services I can. And I would love to say I could come with you and help you save the world, but I do have appearances that need to be upheld. You understand.
Of course.
Okay. Now, if you don't, both of you don't mind, I do actually have some legitimate business I need to finish. Trying to buy another company.
Please tell me it's Dipface McGee.
Archibald.
Yeah. Can you fucking kill him? Destroy.
No
I don't
need.
like him. I don't like him.
He's no threat at all. He likes to think he's a big player, but honestly, I'd rather just throw him scraps every now and then.
That is also quite fun too. All right. Have a good night. I am very glad we had this conversation. And I'm so glad that that fate worked out well. And then I clap Alder on the back and go, let's go to bed. And then walk out.
And just because I know you're wondering what the roll was, you rolled a 25 on your stealth, he rolled a 27 on his perception.
Yep. That
All right,
was
shall
like
we go back
a
up?
mid-roll for me, and I was like, okay, so Thera won't catch me, but we'll see how the servants do.
Yep. Alright, see, I'll bring you guys back up.
Want to come with you.
I know, that's the fun part.
Hello, boys.
Hello, hello.
We go to bed.
Uh-huh.
Tobias, make sure to
All
cast
done with the
alarm around
secrets
the
and the
bed.
whispers and the pots.
It's fantastic. I'm having so much fun.
I just wandered the house.
Tobias, who has had no real sleep and just the stupid elf meditation, just crawls into bed and just goes to real sleep, and he's loving it.
And like
think
you
Calagai
get into
would-
the bed and you just like sink into these like the downfill that are like 4 inches thick, and you just like sink into a cloud. Essentially, is what you're feeling. And the moment your head hits the pillow, you're gone.
I think Calagai would sit in his room for a bit, look at the spot on the floor where Forley would usually be, or the spot on the bed,
Aw.
and then just have a quiet think for a moment before trying to rest.
That's sad.
Alder meditates like normal for 4 hours. Then after 4 hours, he'll get up and probably wander the streets, or I don't know if the manor has a garden, but I'm looking for a tree.
Your territory?
I haven't seen a tree in a long time. I just want to give one a hug.
Tree hug.
Walking, like if you walk out the front door, it's actually you've got enough experience. You just know to walk out the back. You know that the front of the house is paved. It's more for welcoming guests and dignitaries and stuff like that. In the back, partially because of your service, you know that there is a grove of trees that were planted about 10, 15 years ago. So a decent size. But I need you to do something for me first. I need you to druidcraft and ask what the weather is.
Oh, yeah. What's the weather going to be like today, Ollie?
It's gonna be cold. Because like you step outside and the moment you walk out the doors, you get hit with that sharp bite of the cold air, like hitting your lungs. And after those extended months in the desert, you kind of like lean your head back and just close your eyes as you breathe in just that pure smell of falling snow. And like you feel the coolness of every snowflake hitting your face and just slowly melting. And as a wood elf, you're not particularly fond of the winter, but you will take the slumber of life over the death of the desert any day of the week. And when you finally open your eyes, instinctively, you come down and you look straight at the grove of trees that are planted in the back corner of the garden.
Nice.
I just run and jump and hug the biggest tree. I've missed you, dear friends.
You hear like the creaking of the branches. Some would argue that maybe it's the wind causing them to move, but deep in your heart, you know that they're doing what they can to return the hug.
Sand is terrible. I will never forget this moment.
The tree's a tree.
After a reasonable amount of time hugging a tree, I'll head back inside and wander the house till everybody else is awake.
Fine, reasonable.
I was about to say.
Like an hour of me just admiring trees and snow and not hot sand.
It's the middle of the winter, and it's cold. You probably stood there for about 20 minutes, and then you started to lose feeling in your fingertips, and you're like, right, this is cold. Yeah, you walk in, you're like rubbing your hands, blowing on your fingers, keeping to bring life back to them. Because temperature-wise, it's probably, you know what? Let's go with freedom units, because why not? It's about 10. I don't know what that translates to in actual temperatures, but sure, why not?
That's below freezing, yeah.
Yeah.
50 cells. According to my little thermometer right there.
What?
Wait, what?
10
I've got,
degrees Fahrenheit?
No. I've got a little oh no, sorry, I got that backwards. 10. I was looking at 10 Celsius and
Is 50 Fahrenheit? Yeah. No.
Yeah, sorry.
Water freezes at 32 and 0.
Uh-huh. Yeah, sorry.
So, yeah.
Brain went a little silly, but yeah. So aside from me losing my mind, continue on.
I'm kind of curious now. I want to find out what it is.
And squirrel.
Minus 12. So it's you could probably be decent without like winter clothes on for a little bit, but once the wind picks up, yeah, I'd get back inside. Wind chill would drop it down to minus 20.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Oof.
I head back inside and wait for everybody else to wake up in 3 hours and 40 minutes.
I'm just enjoying being able to sprawl with my big tall body.
Caligar sprawls in his bed just because.
And after a couple hours, when you're waiting for everyone, you hear a door open from like that basement level, and you see actually Kurt walks past the room that you're sitting in. He stops and comes back and goes, "Oh, Alter, I actually wanted to talk to you. I just finished appraising everything, and what was the estimated value of the stuff you gave me?"
42,500 gold worth of rare
Gold.
ore and gems.
Okay. Ezekiel said I should be generous. He's going to give you 6.
6 gold or 6 platinum?
6,000.
1,000.
He said it's going to be for... The way he phrased it, he said it's for your service. And then he added in, you'll know what he means by that.
I do.
Okay. Well, he pulls out a bag of gold and says, here, the money's yours.
Just to clarify, that is 6,000 platinum worth of gold. This is 42,500 gold worth of...
Oh, 42,000
Yeah.
gold.
Yeah, 42,500.
Okay, yeah, then he's going to give you 60,000 gold.
Okay. That's 6,000.
Fucking Mr. Moneybags over here.
Hey, deck of many more things, buddy.
That was one of the
Yep.
best cards.
Mm-hmm.
Just wait till I get my other 6,000 platinum.
Okay, and during the night, where did it go? I'm going to steal Shock.
Shock gets a freebie. Not a freebie, a whisper.
Dun dun dun.
And Booty, you can come down too for the stream.
Always gotta take my headphones off.
So, as you fall asleep, you're finding it actually hard to finally get yourself to fall asleep. It takes a considerable amount of time. There's something that is it's scratching at the back of your head and you can't quite figure out what it is. When you finally do drift off to sleep, the only thing you're seeing is just endless blackness until a figure slowly approaches and walks towards you. It's no one you've ever seen. You've never even seen someone that looks like this. It's a tall human, probably about 6'2", 6'3", fairly well built, wearing light fabric, like a loose weave robe, and this kind of heavier golden chain comes down, disappears into the folds of the robe. Heavily tanned skin. But the thing that stands out to you is the eyes are a vibrant and radiant green. Like, you've never seen the clarity of such a green in someone's eyes. And he gets closer and he stops about 10 feet away from you. And he looks you up and down slowly. He just kind of laughs to himself, shakes his head, mutters something under his breath. You can't quite make it out. But when he finally turns back to look at you again, the eyes change and that look of amusement changes to one of rage. He says 2 words to you. And like his voice is deep and like there's just that feeling of command there. And he says, Wedja Ahavu. And it's a language you've never heard before. And as you're sitting there staring at him, kind of confused, the flesh just starts to melt from his body. And as the musculature and the bones reveal themselves, he opens his mouth in a scream, and the form lunges at you and passes through you. and that's when you wake up.
Okay then.
Booty!
Booty!
Someone message him. You're muted.
You're muted.
I'm back.
I'm back.
Okay. So dawn breaks, and you hear life starting to return to the house as all the servants get up to do their morning routines. It seems like they were given orders to let you sleep as much as possible. Clearly, you've seen some stuff and might enjoy the extra rest. So no one actually comes in to wake you up.
I'd still probably be up with light.
Tobias is out. He's sleeping until someone comes gets him.
We should just let Tobias sleep.
It's either that or I'm tempted to like bang on his door like at the butt crack of dawn. But I don't think she cares enough. So she'll probably just like go have something to eat.
Alder would let him
Well,
sleep.
when Othira gets up, you kind of like come downstairs, and it's one of the rooms right off that front foyer that Alder is like sitting there and thinking about life, and that's when you find him.
I think after a little
Survive.
while. Oh, sorry. No, go on.
No, I was just gonna say to Alder, survived the night okay.
Always.
Did you find yourself a tree? You've been complaining about that.
I did. Don't worry, I didn't tell
I'd
it your
say-
secrets.
Saying that out loud is not appropriate. Just shake my head and go get something to eat. Flick him on the way past.
Dodge it. I'm dexterous.
Let me see. I want to see if I can hit you. $26?
Can he dodge?
To hit?
Yeah, it's gonna hit him.
I took the dodge action though.
Oh,
I guess. Oh, okay.
disadvantage.
I'll roll again. 20?
That still hits.
Alright. I think you take like. Oh, do I have to like see if I can refrain from smacking him too hard?
No, this one you're going for a flick. It's not gonna hurt him.
Okay.
It stings, not enough to actually cause damage.
What if she happens to flick him like right in the middle of his nose?
Oh, I need to take a long rest.
I was aiming for the tip of his ear.
Uh-huh.
Yes, don't
That
forget
would
you guys can all hit
fucking
the long
hurt.
rest.
Whew! Long rest for the win. I want to long
And Alder,
rest.
you're still doing stuff privately.
Nuh-uh.
Nuh-huh.
Alright. Yeah, so I just think after a little while, like a little bit longer than usual, Caligra will eventually come out of the room and just start trying to find everybody else.
Okay. As you guys go into the dining room, like breakfast is already laid out. There's actually no. Let's scratch that. Breakfast is not laid out, but the table is set. Behind every chair is a servant, and as you come out, they pull the chair back and help you to sit down. and they just look at you expectantly.
Do you have anything? Mm. I would like a meat platter with some like French toast and some maple syrup and I would like, if you have any exotic wine with a fiery bent to it, that would be fantastic. Spice.
I will do what I can.
Thank you.
He runs off.
Coffee, black, scone, and some fruit, and maybe a little bacon would be wonderful.
And this servant just chuckles and says, "One of these days I'll convince you to change your order." And he walks off.
It's always gonna be the same.
Well, if we're doing breakfasts, I'd do eggs Benedict, biscuits and gravy with extra sausage in it. Some French toast. Do a chicken fried steak. And some Scotch eggs on the side.
Absolutely.
Just the whole kitchen sink, please.
And he runs off. Yeah.
Hungry, hungry dwarf. Yes. Especially since I'm not paying for it.
I'll look at the other servant and go, that elf is kind of bougie. You might need a wake-up call.
How late of a wake-up call do you think would be respectable for him?
Give him another half hour.
Done. And he walks off. And like Alder, the way he leaves, you just know from experience, like he's going to go sit outside that room and stare at a timepiece for a half hour and knock the door at exactly 30 minutes.
I forgot what it was like here.
It's
And
definitely different.
okay.
I thought you were thinking
I don't know
about
where you guys are
something.
going with this.
No, I thought you were
Man,
thinking
Rick.
about something.
No, I'm just trying to figure out like, how this is gonna go. So like you guys, you sit there and you kind of like chit chat about things. Your food's brought up, and exactly 30 minutes after you made that comment, Tobias, you hear a faint knocking on your door. And a voice just calls out and says, "One of your companions recommended that we come and let you know that breakfast is waiting, and you can come down at your convenience."
Great. Thank you. I'm gonna get up, compose myself, and go to the door. Is the guy still there? The servant?
How long do you take to get ready?
Maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah, he's still waiting.
It's a human servant, right?
Mhm.
I'll just clap him on the shoulder and say, "Dreams are the greatest thing ever. You have no idea how lucky you are." And I'm just gonna walk past.
He looks at you confused and goes, "Thanks."
But Tobias isn't gonna go for the breakfast hall. He's gonna say, "Do you have a library in this place?"
Yes, but Master von Mildenstein prefers to accompany any guest that will go into the library, and he was called away this morning on important business.
Okay. I'll go down to the breakfast hall then.
You get the same treatment. There's someone that's been standing behind an empty chair this whole time, waiting for you to show up. And he pulls a chair out for you and has you sit down, and then waits expectantly for you to give him a food order.
This poor guy's been waiting 40 minutes for you.
I guess
Just
I'll
standing behind the table.
I'll just point at Caligar's, the remnants of his plate, and just say, whatever he had, I'll have that.
Right away, he walks away. Comes back up about 10 minutes later and just puts out this like plate after plate after plate of food.
I'll look at all the plates and go, Caligar, what did you do?
I did nothing. You asked for what I had.
I thought you were going to have something simple, and I thought I'd make it simple for them by asking for something that was already made.
That's why I always
Well, anyway,
get...
did you guys talk to Ezekiel?
I did. Yep. We
What did he
took
say
the
about
deal.
the money? Okay.
He's gonna give us the 30,000, and apparently we can go talk to his contacts. Oh, a hydrate from Ezekiel. No, Azrael, not Ezekiel.
Yeah, a hydrate from Ezekiel.
Here, drink the poison.
Yep.
No, Tobias, if I can make a recommendation, the scones, the fruit is really good here. A little cup of black coffee, maybe 2 slices of bacon. It's perfect breakfast. I could go the rest of my life and never eat anything else.
Maybe tomorrow.
Off in the corner, that
So we
one
going
reader
to
has
Flat
obvious
X?
chagrin at your words.
So are we going to his contacts, or are they coming here?
We're going shopping.
He, as did Ezekiel leave us with the information on where to go, or was he assuming I would take us there?
He hasn't given you any information yet. No,
Okay. I will,
that was coming after breakfast.
got it.
I probably ask for seconds and thirds.
This just takes a few
They
bites off of each plate.
they provide it. After you ask for thirds, a figure walks in, dressed in what you'd expect for a chef, right? White jacket, white pants, apron, but he's about 3.5 feet tall. And he walks in and goes, "Okay, who's asking for thirds? Like, really? How much food do you need?"
I look down at myself and I go, I'm big. I expend a lot of energy.
Meanwhile, I'm over on the other side, just taking care of whatever Tobias doesn't eat.
Kind of like looks at you, and he gets this grin. He walks over and like notably sizes you up and goes, "I could beat you in an eating contest." Turns and walks out.
Perhaps we could do that for dinner.
Oh, I don't want to embarrass guests of the Von Mildensteins. That's just not how we do things.
So, but it's fun. The only fun I've had recently is murdering things, and that was a lot of fun. This is a different type of fun.
If you want to run it past the boss, I will gladly eat you under the table. Oh my... That was glorious.
That's your sister, man.
Somewhere in the background, Sweet Home Alabama just starts playing for some weird reason.
The bard is
Oh, fuck.
hired.
It was like the instant expression of horror on your face was epic. Oh, somebody clip that.
Well, we know why Az isn't eating right now. Because he's thirsty.
Oh, okay, somebody needs to clip that. Fuck.
Yeah, I'll get that after we're done.
Oh.
Oh god, I laughed so hard I coughed.
Oh.
I started laughing so much, and my voice started coming over to me like, "Are you okay?"
Oh man.
Oh my god.
That was good.
The worst thing is, Fox wasn't here for that.
The instant regret was fantastic.
The look on your face, priceless. Oh.
It couldn't have happened to a better person.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
man. I think after that, we need a hydrate. I'm gonna hydrate. Where did it go? There.
Well, we already know he's thirsty.
Doc, shut the fuck up.
Oh, man.
Oh man, that was good. It's so
Fucking
funny.
halflings, man. I tell you.
So
Don't
after
filter
those
break-
little
breakfast,
shits.
so after
No,
breakfast,
no. Dwarf is about 4 feet tall. He's about 3 to 3.5 feet.
Oh,
And about
I thought
just as
I
wide.
thought the chef was a dwarf.
Yeah, I thought Ezekiel
He
said
did say
he,
that he-
hired
that he
a
hired
dwarven
a
No,
chef.
he hired a dwarven chef.
Oh. But
Okay,
this dude
it's just
is a
not this
halfling.
chef who happened to come out to us.
Yeah.
Maybe he has multiple chefs.
I'm totally
It's the breakfast.
I'm
chef.
totally going
He
to go
absolutely
I mean, you
to
would have to.
Ezekiel. True. I'm totally going to go to Ezekiel and say, your chef challenged me to an eating contest.
Well, Ezekiel's not there right now, but eventually you can have that conversation.
Yeah.
And when you have that conversation, Ezekiel will look at you and be like, yeah, he does that. Good luck. You're going to need it. You don't understand what halflings can do with food.
That's okay. I don't care if I lose. It's just going to be fun.
Yeah, we can deal with that later. And then coming
Eating
back to
contest.
breakfast, as things finish off, Kurt walks in, and he has 5 bags that he sets down with a heavy thunk in front of each and every one of you, and says, "Here's the payment that was offered. There's 6,000 platinum in each of the bags." Booty.
000.
Fuck off.
What did you do?
Just look at the chat.
Do you want to die? I think you want to die.
Time for a backup character.
Listen, if I would make that
I
same
think it's in the
joke if
works.
Fox was DMing, I have to make it when Donnie's DMing.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so he pulls out a piece of paper and sets it down in the middle of the table and says, "This is the address you're going to want to go to for making any magical purchases you wish. The purveyor is, what is his name? I actually got an actual
Steve.
name, and it is not Steve. Because we've used Steve just a little too much.
Bob.
I don't
That's
think
for
they
me.
caught the Stefan von Mildenstein. Ezekiel's dead.
No, this is the owner of the shop is Wolfram Endelhoff. He's an interesting one, but he's got probably the best variety of magic items you could think of. This side of the world has mountains.
Awesome. I have a list of things I'm searching for.
Lists do make things easier for him. He's otherwise he's going to recommend all sorts of things. So yeah, if you present him a list, if he has it, he will sell it to you.
Particularly, my top choice is a belt of giant strength of some kind.
You're gonna have to talk with Wolfram about that. I just gave you the address. I don't know anything about selling magic items.
Oh, thought we'd already left. Never mind.
Should we head out?
Yeah.
That's the thing you need to say to be okay. Let's go to the magic shop. Not here's a piece of
Sorry.
paper. Okay, well here's what I want. It's like I just hand you the paper.
We're in Altdorf, the capital of the empire, right?
Recto Mundo.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I clearly remember the last time we were there. Do I know when we come out, do I recognize what portion of the city we're in?
Yes. I will show you one thing though, because I spent many hours designing this and painting it and making it look so perfect, and not using AI to do everything.
Oh, that is pretty cool.
That is the
That's
outside,
the
of, the
outside
house.
of the house.
Yeah.
It's a mansion.
Othira wasn't here with us the first time. When Ezekiel walked the party past it, it was in ruins and had been left abandoned after he'd been evicted. And then when we met with the with people to see how much it would cost to buy the house, it was 3 million gold pieces for it in its ruined state.
Oh.
So on the map, the house is this location.
No, I don't have any
I see a
vision.
black screen.
Why does it do that?
All right, the house is there, and do we recognize the address of Wolfram Endelhoff?
I do.
Alder does. He's gonna lead you down. Essentially to here. It's a fairly quick jaunt. Like it only takes you maybe 20 minutes to a half hour to get there.
Are there any churches or shrines on the way? Or are they in a different part of the city? It's been a while since we've been here.
Well, if you look on the left side, it's got a list, and those correspond to various places.
Temple of Raya, Temple of Shalaya, Rand.
And looking at this now, I want to say this came from a source book, but I'm pretty sure that map was made with Wonder Draft or Dungeon Draft, one of those.
The closest temple.
The buildings
I
look too
think,
familiar.
is
This
here.
map?
Yeah, on the other side of the
You
river.
shift and ping, it'll bring it over.
Yeah.
We're only right here. Be right here. Same side of the river.
Now, do I remember who Raya, Shalaya, and Moore are?
Does Donnie remember who Ryan Shalaya are? I know Moore is the god of death.
Okay.
Um,
Trying to pick a different god.
Ryan.
What's that?
You trying to pick a different god since Cain forsake you?
No, I'm not saying any of this out loud. I'm just trying to remember last time we were here and figure out where everything is and who everyone is.
Raya is the god of summer, agriculture, fertility, love, and nature. And Shalya is the goddess of mercy, compassion, and healing. Known as the White Dove of Mercy or the Lady in White.
All right, I'll know we're not passing too close to any temples, so we'll just keep going to the magic shop.
And then there's always the Cathedral to Sigmar, right? The biggest building in town, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, after about 20 minutes to half hour of weaving through the streets, you stop in front of a shop that looks like it's pretty much a hole in the wall. Like there's room for the door, a very thin window on either side. If you were to stand and hold your arms out, like fully spread, you would be touching both buildings on either side of this shop.
I
Where
walk
is
through
this
the
it?
door.
This is it.
Have you been here before?
Have I been here before?
Well, history.
I think I'm bad at history. Nope, I'm not that bad at history. That's a 7 for a 17.
No, you've never been here before. You've heard of it, but you've never actually gone inside yourself.
I've tracked down items that were from here, but I've never actually been here.
So you guys go inside?
Yeah, let's
I
head
do.
inside.
Okay. So as you walk in, there's a bit of an odd feeling. It kind of like feels like you walked through something, and as you step in, you look around. The room you're in is shaped as an octagon, but it extends about 60 feet back and it's 60 feet wide. And yes, it is bigger on the inside than it looks like on the outside.
Which
Towards
magic,
the
heavy magic guys, it makes sense.
Yep. Towards the far end, there is a long bench behind a desk, and just kind of like over on your left side of it is this full standing mirror with this golden frame around it that glitters in light that doesn't hit it, if that makes sense. And the gentleman sitting behind the desk, the moment you step through, his head snaps up, and he's old enough that you would consider him ancient for a human. Like he's pushing 80, 85. What strands of hair remain on his head are few and very wispy. He's got these one thick monocle, and just dressed in a simple like purple and gold robe. Like he's trying to like really show off that he's got that magical flair to it. And he looks up and just kind of like glares at you and says, "Yes, can I help you?"
Question: Can we go back like to last night for 1 second? Could I have gotten the armor and the sword and the shield appraised and see if they would take that?
Yeah, I'd say they'd probably add. If you wanted the money right off the bat, they'd probably offer you about an extra 500 platinum.
I'll do that.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry. I just forgot about that. Okay. So, I mean, we're here to sell and buy magic items, particularly.
I would assume so, since you came into my store.
Ezekiel von
Right.
Wildenstein has recommended you.
That makes sense. Now I have to ask, do you have lists for me? Or are we just going wild?
This is going wild.
I pull out a parchment with really rough scratch and I hand it to him. And I've underlined like my super wants, which is like a belt of giant kind is the major one, and then I would like to trade my vicious greatsword or great axe for a glaive, like a vicious glaive.
Okay. He looks at your list and kind of eyes them and goes, yes. Pulls a quill out and just goes, oh no, I don't have that. No. I don't have that. No. Yes. I don't have vicious. I have something good though. You will like it. He kind of looks you up and down and goes, yes, you will like it. Belt, yes, I have that. Boots, yes, I have that. Ring, yes, I have that. Jug, I have several of those. Looks at the other, goes, do you have lists?
I'll hand over
I love
my
this guy.
list as well.
Guys takes out a piece of parchment and starts writing a list.
He looks at Alder and just kind of looks a bit confused and goes, it's a very short list. Armor, sword, bow. I'll give you options. Don't worry. I have options. I'll give you options.
I'm a simple man.
And then Tobias, you give him a list as well?
Yeah. Better bow, better studded leather armor, or at least interesting bow, interesting studded leather armor, great sword of warning or an interesting great sword, and then any fun tchotchkes, magical tchotchkes.
He looks back and forth between you and Alder, goes, such simple lists, but again, I have things I can work with. We will do this. And he looks at Calgar and says, what about you?
Unfortunately, I don't have a very big list. I need a better one of these, and I'll pull out my all-purpose tool. And
if Shaw comes back in the camera with a fucking shield.
No, it wouldn't be a shield, it'd be a dog.
Do you have any dogs?
And
No dogs.
Yeah,
The
I need one of
enchantment
these that I
for-
can ride.
The room. Dogs go crazy. They can't comprehend, and I had one once. It did not go well. Still have nightmares about that.
Oof. No, but no, I need a better one of
It
these.
turned inside out.
Whoa! Poor.
Yeah, it did not go well. Apparently, enchantments only humanoid. Only humanoid.
Dear God.
But
Gimli, cover your eyes.
Yeah. no, I need a better all-purpose tool and an interesting shield, preferably something I don't have to attune to. And whatever you might find interesting that feels suitable for either caving in skulls or keeping mine from being caved.
I'm sure we can think of something. Okay, so who wants to go first?
Here went first.
Okay. So let's go through your list. So you want ring. I have ring. 5,000 gold.
Just give me the prices and then I'll figure out what I want to buy.
Okay. So ring. 5,000. You want glaive. I don't have vicious. I have flame tongue. Flame tongue glaive. 6,000 gold. Belt. Hill giant. 10,000 gold. Boots. Dime a dozen. 600 gold. Oh, you want two
What
rings?
What giant did you say?
Hill. That was 10,000. Second ring. Protection. 11,000 gold. Alchemy jug. Again. Dime a dozen. 400 gold.
That 2 gallons of mayonnaise every day.
It's the wine. She wants her wine. Do you happen to have like a amulet of health or these fancy books I read about?
Books. So rare. I've tried, but never been that lucky. The amulets. You're out of luck. I sold my last one 3 weeks ago.
Too bad. I will take the giant's strength one for sure. I have to look up the flame tongue.
Essentially vicious, but does it's 2d6 fire damage, and the sword, when you have the fire on it, is 40 foot bright, 40 foot dim.
If I wanted to trade my great axe for the glaive, what would I get for that?
I've never seen this make. Where's it from?
The Nine Hells. The city of Dis, specifically.
Oh, see, that's what I was wondering. Specifics. Specifics matter. Sales. I'll give you half. What
I'll
is
think
good
about
deal?
it.
It's 3,000 instead of 6,000.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to. I might not want to sell it.
You're attached. I get it.
Could just have like 2. Then if I drop one, still have the other one.
Also, if you're trying to be sneaky, flame tongue, Not the best.
Yeah. I think the only difference between the flame tongue and the axe is the extra 5 feet. I don't know if it's worth it.
Does it
I
have
don't
to have
really
the
want
flame
to
on
Touch
it?
someone today.
Sorry?
Does it have to have the flame on it? Does
If
the
there's
flame
no
go on
flame,
it every
there's
time?
no extra. It's just a glaive.
I mean, can you choose to turn on the flame, or is it always on?
Yes. I believe the phrase used by adventuring people is bonus action.
He breaks the
So-
fourth wall and looks at
so-
Twitch chat.
So the ring of spell storing was 5,000, and the ring of protection was 11,000.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna take the belt for sure. I have the prices. I'll do what I want.
Okay. Then he
While
looks
you
at
talk to somebody else.
Alder and Tobias and says, "You two, same problem. You want better armor. I don't have leather. Leather weak. Leather useless. No. I have chain. Chain mail. Chain shirt. You'd appreciate. It's elven.
Then chain?
Elven chain shirt. Elven chain mail.
Just regular chain shirt and chain mail?
And actually looking at it, these ones I didn't price.
I cannot wear either of those.
Yes, you can, because with it being elven, if you are not proficient in medium armor, it gives you proficiency in that armor. Yeah.
Ooh.
So he says, chainmail, 9,000. Chain shirt, 8,000.
There's above the table. There's no magic on them. They're just chain shirt and chain mail.
No, they're +1 for the various types, and if you're not proficient, then you become proficient.
Do either of them come with disadvantage on stealth checks?
Chain mail is, chain shirt is not.
Okay.
I think base chain shirt is AC 16. Let me actually pull it up here. I had that up on my phone, actually. Unless one of you can beat me to armor before I get there.
Chain mail 16 AC, no bonuses, strength 13, disadvantage stealth. And then chain shirt 13 plus max 2.
Elven chain
No.
shirt is armor class of 14, +1 to your armor class while wearing it. Elven chain mail is armor class of 17.
Yeah. Well, I was
Yeah,
talking
so
about
chain
base.
shirt is 13 plus 1, and then a chain shirt is plus dex of max 2. So you would be 16 for that, and the chainmail is 17.
I think I actually lose armor class on that.
Yeah, I
Let's
come out
re-see.
basically the same, and then if I ever pick up more decks, I'm losing.
Well, aren't you just like agile fuckers?
But yeah, not agile enough. He killed me a couple sessions
Also,
ago.
you'd be the same.
Okay.
And I can't read my own lists. There were 2 other ones. that were leather.
Leather or studded leather?
Studded. Leather itself is useless.
Just plus ones?
So, nope. So the two studded leathers he has, one is Zephyr, that is 11,000, and he also has +2 studded for 30,000.
What does the Zephyr do?
Zephyr lets you move like wind. No extra protection, but more acrobatic, more dexterous. And there's a rune on it that makes wall of wind. Essentially, you get advantage on acrobatics and dexterity saves, because like every step you take is kind of like a little puff of wind pushes you a little bit further.
Interesting.
And then you can also once a day cast wind wall.
You said the other was just +2 studded leather?
Yeah. For 30.
The Zephyr was 20.
Zephyr was 11.
Oh, 11. Sorry. Okay.
And then he looks at Alder and says, now your list. Swords. Always short swords. No one wants long swords. Well, I guess you, puts Tobias, you want great sword. Those are always fun. Not many, but fun. Short sword. The crystal is 12,000. Dancing is 30,000. Or this one, he reaches out and like hits a button, and just in the middle of the room, a blade starts spinning. Doesn't actually look all that special. He says, "This one, Fool's Blade, 20,000."
How much was the dancing short sword?
30.
And this one's the Fool's Blade?
Yep.
And that's 20,000.
And then bows, special ones. You say bows, but have crossbow. You might like to. Bow, short bow, conflagration. You like to burn things? This bow burn things. Dragon wing. We'll do not fire or poison or anything like that. No. Force, extra hard hit. And then crossbow, star shot crossbow. Pretty sure it gets into divination bullshit.
So the Dragon Wing was a short bow as well?
Yep.
Okay. And then what was the cost on these?
Conflagration is 12,000. Dragon Wing is 4,000. Star Shot is 17,000.
Dragon Wing was 4,000 and Star Shot was 17.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then Tobias. I don't know how this one does it, but you figure it would be the arrows that are vicious, but vicious longbow. Maybe just more oomph in the shot. That one's 9,000. If you want, it's a long name. He kind of like pulls out a paper, just like focuses in, make sure he's reading it right, and goes, "Longbow of Throne Command." I don't know what that one does, but it's 40,000, so must be good.
How do you know it's a charge if you don't know what it does?
I knew what it did when I bought it. It's been in the back for 30 years.
So what does it do?
Fucked if I know. Want to go find out?
How would we find out?
Points to the mirror and says, "Go touch."
If you touch the mirror?
Go touch.
All right, I'm gonna go touch the mirror.
Okay. As you touch it, the glass kind of like ripples, and like before you have a chance to react, this silver material races up your arm. You feel it kind of like bite down and pulls you in. And you're standing effectively what looks like a range, like a testing room. It's got dummies set up. There's targets at various distances that just go off into blackness, but they always seem like they have their own individual light source. And as you like kind of like take a look around, an image appears of Wolfram, just kind of like chest up, and he says, "Okay, throne command. One second. I have a bring to you." Just DM speak for hold on. Let me pull up what it does. What the fuck is it?
While you do that, I ended up taking the belt, the boots, and the alchemy jug.
So 11,000 gold.
Yeah. I already took it off of my D&D Beyond sheet.
Okay, so you wait in that testing room for a few minutes, and then just kind of like floating in the air in front of you is the bow itself. It's made of black wood with ornate gold filigree, and there's deep blue and maroon jewels that kind of like encase the whole thing, like tastefully placed along the length. When you reach out to grab it, you take a shot, and it feels like he gives you a bit of a better kick. You feel a little more accurate, kind of comparable to the longbow you already have. And it feels like if you were to try and convince someone to tell you what you want to know through either being intimidating or getting them to like go along with it, it's going to make you a bit better, a little more imposing for that to happen, or you get proficiency in intimidation and persuasion. And you feel like there is a magical essence inside that would let you cast spells that would influence people to do what you need them to do.
Very interesting. I like this longbow throne command. I hand it back to the to Wolfram and say, "I'm interested. We'll see what else we can do."
As you let go of the bow, just the world around you shatters, and next thing you know, you're just standing in front of the mirror again.
DM, if I already have proficiency in intimidation and persuasion, do I get expertise or no?
No.
Okay.
Now you also want other bow, glimmering moon bow. Fancy name. I like it. Moon bow.
I love this guy.
Right?
What does your moon bow do?
He just points at the mirror and says nothing.
Go back into the mirror and take a look.
So this time when you come through, bow's already there waiting for you. It's silver and black. It has engravings along the side of the various phases. And when you go to take the shots through it again, feels the same. You get the +1 attack and damage. But you notice that when the arrows are hitting, there's a brief burst of a radiant energy, and you're taking shots like you're drawing from like an arrow stand beside you, and after like the third shot, Wolfram just says, "Now try no arrow," and you go to pull back, and as you pull the arrow back or the string back, a arrow of like just golden radiance appears in its place, and you let it off, and when it hits, it disappears. When you miss, once it goes past the target you're aiming at, it disappears as well.
Very cool. Very interesting.
And you also feel like if you wanted to, you could be there and not be there.
I don't know what you mean.
Well, bonus action. Try it.
I'll try the bonus action.
Okay. So as you kind of activate the magic in the bow, you look as like the hand that's holding the bow stays there, but you look at your other hand and you're noticing like, I thought I had 5 fingers. Well, now I've got 5. Why am I down to 2? Like your hand is just phasing in and out of existence, and you're watching as these like patches of your arm and your chest and your legs, they're all just kind of like disappearing and then coming back in. Like you're kind of corporeal and at the same time not. And as you're standing there, really before you're able to react, a figure appears beside one of the targets, quickly draws an arrow and shoots you dead center in the chest. And you've been shot with an arrow before. You know you should feel a certain amount of pain just from the force of the impact. But it kind of catches a space just as part of that changes that incorporeal form, and the amount of damage you take is going to be less.
How much is this moonbow?
Moonbow is 8,000.
Interesting. Very interesting. I hand it back.
And once you hand it back again, you're pulled out. It says, now swords. Great sword specifically, not good with a long sword.
Yeah, it needs to be a great sword.
Particular, I like it. They say you wrote here. Want to trade longsword warning for greatsword?
You have
I
it?
have greatsword of warning. I don't do trades. I do discount.
Okay.
With discounts, 200.
200 gold.
Now, also have life stealing.
Motion over towards the mirror.
No life to steal from there. But if you hit target effectively, hurts them more and heals you.
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. How much is that one?
Life stealing 10,000.
All right, I'll think about that one as well.
Okay.
And how
You
much?
look-
How much would the longsword of warning trade in be worth?
Well, I 200.
200
Effectively,
gold.
give you for if you trade for greatsword, I give you half price. So if you just
Okay.
if you sell, I give you half price, 200.
I understand. Well, yeah, I was just asking what the price was. Sure. Got it.
And then dwarf. Not much of a list. Tool. Let me see. He grabs yours, yanks it out of your hand, and looks at it, and goes, pretty common. I can do a little better. 13,000.
Okay.
Hard choice. But you want shields. You think about tool. I talk about shields. Basic, just enchantment for extra protection.
Yeah, no, just something that doesn't require attunement. No. I already have several items that I cared about.
Anyone notice that now I'm talking to Fenric, not Caligar?
I've been listening to the voice, so I just fell into it.
Didn't actually look to see what requires attunement, so let's
Yeah,
see.
because I honestly haven't gone through the magic list. I've been kind of glancing through it while everybody else has been going. It's like, what could be interesting? Because yes, hello, bud. I really like the items I have now. I don't really want to trade something out unless it's like really good, but I don't know what that might be.
Okay,
I have
so
a nice armor and weapon and all that. So it's like, I just don't know. So I do have a funny question. Is there like a dwarven statue guy who just actually has like arms and legs and stuff, or like a small like horse or something that happens to be roughly like that would fit in a 5-foot square? This has a legitimate purpose behind it, but it's a weird question.
what?
Yes. I'm looking for a mundane statue of like either a dwarf warrior or like a person or etc. But like some sort of warrior-esque person or maybe like a small horse or something.
He looks at you like he's seeing crazy, and this
Yes.
is beyond. He's like,
Yes. I
it's
know.
it's magic store.
I know.
You want
But-
statue
It-
store.
but
It's
This
cross
has
river.
funny. This has funny. Okay. Because this has weird application. So okay. Because I have an idea and I don't know how it's gonna go.
Okay, well, I have shields. I can
Okay,
talk. I can talk shields. Okay. Not needing to attune.
Yes.
Minor enchantment +1, 600 gold. Medium enchantment +2, 18,000 gold. But also, if you're willing to sacrifice attunement, I have pariah shield. This one, you have friends, so it would work better. Work better while closer.
Okay. Because sacrifice attunement is big ask. Like I said, I have several things that I really like. That tool, this cloak, this armor.
Let's see. No, I'm looking at the wrong one. Pariah. He kind of looks over and goes, when all you get into a fight, you like to go forward and take hits. Yes.
Yes, I am. I am the one.
Okay. So every friend within 5 feet is +1, up to max 3. And if you want to save friends, they take damage, but you react. You take damage instead. They're fine.
Interesting.
But attune.
Mm-hmm. But attune, and if I'm up in melee, the only one up there with me is really Athera or Cardinal. So I might get a 1 or 2 out of it.
Still pretty good.
It is good. It is good.
Or cheap price, only 10,000. Now, other one. This one, personal favorite. It's buckler. Sapphire buckler. This one, actually fairly new. I only got it in a month or so ago. While attuned, holding shield. Resistant to psychic and thunder.
Interesting.
And if enemy within 5 feet hurt you, you do thunder to them.
Oh.
Is the thunder loud?
No, it's just damage. Just damage.
No, I will forever be the one character to always announce ourselves to the world.
Well, that nimble.
Also, if you want to hunt aberration, within 1 mile.
It's
But
very
little
interesting
noisy.
shield.
Low hum. Low hum.
Yeah.
That
And
one?
how much is yes.
50.
That's expensive.
The Emerald High.
Yeah. I think for a shield, I might just take the cheap +1 for now, because the one I would have traded out for is that sapphire, but I'm not gonna bank my entire gains from it into one item. Okay. Yeah, so I'll take that. Okay. And do you have any interesting magic item on the side? Anything? Just what?
Do you have now? Do you have idea? Or you want just random?
Personal favorite. What's your personal favorite that you have in the shop at the moment?
Don't have personal. It's all good. I sell it all.
Yes, but there's things that you like. Just like you said, the sapphire buckler was your favorite.
I didn't say favorite. I said I really like it.
Yes, but still.
No, favorites, personal collection. I'm not selling personal collection.
No. So what didn't make it into the personal collection? What was interesting but not quite?
The website loads slow.
Or
I think I know what
see.
I'm gonna buy.
Okay, what you want?
I'll take the Fool's Blade and the Starshot crossbow. And if Tobias won't kill me for it, I'll also take the +2 studded.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. I'm gonna drop 67,000 gold. And then I would also ask how much he would pay for the glamored studded leather armor and the vicious short sword.
When you hand him, or when you like reference the armor, he kind of looks at you and goes, 100? It's not very special.
Gives you a
Wait, what does-
+1, and you can make it look like whatever you want.
Wait, is the glamour, is it uncommon or is it rare?
It is rare.
Son of a bitch. Okay, I'm rolling the wrong dice.
While wearing this armor, you get a +1 to your armor class, and you can take a bonus action to cause the armor to change to assume the appearance of normal set of clothing or other kind of armor. You decide what it looks like, including color, style, and accessories, but the armor retains its normal bulk and weight. The illusory appearance lasts until you use this property again or doff the armor.
Okay.
Unless Tobias wants the glamored studded leather armor.
Yeah,
Okay, then
but I have other questions.
He'd offer you 2,000.
Okay, I will consider that. How much for the short sword? Vicious short sword? I'm gonna keep the vicious dagger. If I can throw it.
I rolled really high for that. That is kind of ridiculous.
It could be very persuasive. I'll roll persuasion just to see.
Roll persuasion.
Cool.
Roll persuasion.
There's a minimum on this.
I know there is.
That's still 24.
He's like, because you're a good customer. 8,000.
I will take the 8,000. I'll hold on to the glamored studded leather until after Tobias decides if he wants anything else. So I give you 59,000.
Sure.
I did the math.
I'm not doing math.
It's 67,000 for everything that I was buying.
Yeah, okay. Okay, Tobias, you had questions too?
Yeah, the ring of protection that Othira was mentioning. Is that a regular +1 or a +2?
It's essentially the same as the cloak of protection. It gives you +1 to your save and +1 to your armor class and +1 to saves.
Would that stack with having +1 armor or not?
Yeah. If you had +1 armor, a cloak of protection, and a ring of protection, they all give you +1.
Ring of Protection is attunement.
The star shot.
Oh, it is attuned?
Yeah,
Oh,
it
sorry.
is.
The star shot,
Sorry,
is that a hand crossbow? Or
Light crossbow. I think I saw. Wait, let me. Are you proficient in?
says,
Yeah, it's a simple weapon.
okay, it says crossbow, comma hand, so I didn't know if that was specifically only hand crossbows, or if that was crossbows including hand crossbows.
Let me look at weapons again. Simple range, light crossbow. You're proficient in simple weapons.
Okay.
And I have it. Do you happen to have a bag of holding?
Actually, no. What I have. No one brave enough to buy yet.
Oh.
Devouring.
Ooh.
You put something in. I think like 50-50. It goes in bag or it goes in mouth.
Yeah, that's
Kinda funny.
not good odds.
It could be fun to throw people in.
What is it? Sorry, I was...
A bag of devouring. If you put something into it, it's like a 50-50 if you put the item into the bag or if you put the item into the mouth of whatever extra dimensional beast is on the other side.
Actually decent price. 20,000.
For the
Okay,
bag of
okay.
devouring? Yeah,
He's
no.
very rare.
I don't see a practical use for it.
You could put a
What you
person
mean?
in it.
Walk up behind, sneak up behind someone, put bag overhead, 50% chance, monster bite off head.
Okay, that is a point.
Seemed pretty practical to me.
Mm-hmm.
I always just thought of it like it was cursed. So that
Only
you would
cursed
like,
if you put hand in. You put hand in,
yeah.
50% chance, you not get hand back.
Or you try and put something in that you like want to keep and you didn't know it was a bag of devouring and then it's gone.
Well,
we know
we
bag
know is
devouring.
back.
It's not finding out in wild. This is me telling you what it is. Because DM find it funny.
Okay. 20,000. Because I was hoping I could just replace the infusion slot bag of holding I have so I could get that infusion back.
I think someone
But,
doesn't watch my TikToks where I think I made one or replied to one where I said that
Mhm.
I don't like giving out bags of holding.
I know. But how about a
Especially when
cube
there's
of
an artificer who just fucking makes one on his own. Sorry, I didn't catch that part. What'd you say?
cube of summoning? It's only a rare. It's not a very rare.
Yeah, Yeah, I have it. 17,000.
That could be interesting. Very interesting.
I have to make some important decisions on what I want to attune to.
Yeah, that's why I was specifically been looking for non-attunement slots because I have stuff I really like. That buckler was very tempting, but not for 50,000.
Okay. Well, let's since we're
think
getting
I'm
close
gonna-
to midnight, we can do the rest of this off the stream, and if you give me some ideas of what you want to look for. Otherwise, I'm just gonna go literally just randomize what this guy has to offer for you.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, because that would
Yeah.
be cool too. Because I don't really have much else off the top of my head. I've been trying to look through the list for what might be fun. But the list
If you
is
could
massive.
send the random list out, that'd be cool, because there might be something on it that I didn't think about.
Does he have any
It's not gonna
dust
be
of dryness?
25,000 gallons of
Is this-
water.
Oh, it's that thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the portable Olympic-sized swimming pool.
Just because I think it's bullshit, it's gonna be a high percentage on that thing. Motherfucker! I was thinking like, okay, let's go for a 90% chance it's not there. No, rolled a fucking 96. So
Tell me
yes,
the price later. And Alder, I will buy your glamored studded leather off of you.
Okay. 2,000 gold.
it's not expensive.
Deal.
Dust of Dryness is 600.
600 gold?
It's
Fuck yeah.
uncommon.
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys finish off your business with him, and he's like, "Thank you for the money. I'll get out." And he leans over and smacks a button on the desk, and you are launched out the front door.
Mhm. All right. At which point I go across the street to the statue guy.
So he's head across the river, literally the other
Oh.
side of town.
Alright.
But yeah, as you guys land in the street, you kind of like go skidding across, and the locals that see you, they just kind of laugh because the ones that have done business with Wolfram expect this and kind of always like land on their feet and stumble a little bit. It really caught you all off guard, and you more or less wind up on your ass. But I want you all to roll a perception for me.
Five.
17 for Tobias.
27.
I should probably roll for Cardinal too.
Coming in with a whopping 5.
Okay, so Othira and Caligar, no, you don't really notice anything. Just kind of gets lost in the background noise of the city. But as you all kind of like hit the ground, and you're more or less huddled in a group, Tobias, Alder, and Cardinal are all going to notice that on one side of the street is a dog that was just walking out of an alley, just kind of like stops, and the hackles on his back instantly raises up, ears pinned back, he starts growling and barking and like biting in your direction. And at the same time, on the opposite side of the street, a cat hisses and then runs away.
Are they
And that's
part-
where we're gonna end tonight.
Oh god, I think I know what it is.
I don't
Anyways.
think you do.
Caligar. The animals hate you.
Shush you. They all adore me.
see how much shenanigans I get. 5 plus 4, 9.
Right. Click the ad break. When we come back, Nathan can give us our
Okay.
outro.
So, Booty,
Yeah.
I gotta know, what do you think it is?
I thought what Othira thinks that it's Algar being that, or the other thought I had is it's Skaven. Because there were Skaven tunneling all under the city.
I
Dog
don't
and a
think it's
cat meets
Skaven.
Skaven?
The animals were looking directly at you when they had that reaction, like at your
Oh.
group.
Then yeah, I assumed it was Calgar.
Okay.
No, I do
Well-
need to try to find a statue. That is a
Okay,
very
what's
valid
this idea with the statue? Because
because
I have a feeling I need to plan something beforehand.
it's gonna be interesting. But the only requirement is it needs to fit inside of a 5-foot cube.
Animate object or something?
Nope.
Is this artificer
Alright.
bullshit I have to deal with?
Yes.
Great. You can send me a message so I know what you're planning, because I'm not going into this blind.
Okay. It's a magic
Just
item that I get.
send a message so
Okay.
the surprise is not ruined for everybody else. I just want to know.
All right, Nathan, outro.
Alright. Well, if you guys enjoyed our Brand of Chaos as much as we enjoyed playing it, please give us a follow. It helps out greatly. Down below, you'll find links to our Discord, YouTube, Astro's TikTok, Booty's Twitch, and Springer's Knives. Our Discord is free and open to everybody. We'd love to see you there if you want to come and hang out. If you want to just lurk and get the announcements, that's fine too. Our YouTube, we put up replays for sessions, usually 2 days after the fact, and we have YouTube Shorts. On Astro's TikTok, he does a variety of different types of videos. They're all pretty great. You should go check them out. On Booty's stream, he streams once or twice a week and is always friendly and engaged with the chat. If you love him here, you love him over there, go hang out with him. And our buddy here, Springer, makes knives on the side. I have one myself. It's sharp and beautiful and cuts amazingly. I love it. He has a rolling stock. It changes out, and you have to go online to see what's available at the moment. But he will work with you through the start to finish process. And like I said, I highly recommend one. Today was our Rise of the Everchosen campaign. We'll be back here this Sunday with our first session of our Baldur's Gates run, which we're using to fill in for some time. And we won't be doing our When the Nights Rise next week, and we'll be back here next Wednesday at the end of our shopping trip and figuring out what is going on with all the animals, if it's me or if it's somebody else. And we'll see how that goes. So.
And we will see you all Sunday for some Baldur's Gate 3. Till then, everybody be good. Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.